U.S. warship sails through Taiwan Strait after China War Games. The U.S. warship USS Milius sailed through the Taiwan Strait on Sunday in what the U.S. Navy described on Monday as a routine transit, just days after China ended its last war games around the island. China, which sees Taiwan as its own territory, officially ended its 3 days of exercises around Taiwan last Monday, where it practiced precision strikes and blockaded the island. It staged the exercises to express anger over Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen's meeting with U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Kevin McCarthy, seeing it as interference in China's internal affairs and U.S. support for Taiwan's separate identity from China. South Korea, U.S. and Japan hold exercises as South Korea criticizes U.S. nuclear blackmail. South Korea, the United States and Japan held joint naval missile defense exercises Monday to improve responses to North Korean threats, while Pyongyang accused Washington of stepping up nuclear blackmail with military exercises. The three nations agreed at talks in Washington on Friday to hold regular missile defense and anti-submarine defense exercises in their efforts to increase diplomatic and military cooperation. North Korea tested a new solid-fueled intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, on Friday that experts said would facilitate missile launches with little warning, part of an increase in its military activities in recent weeks. Hundreds of Orthodox Christians lined up outside a cathedral in the Ukrainian capital Kiev after a service on Sunday as they waited for a priest to bless them with a spray of water as part of the Easter tradition. This is the second year that Ukraine's Orthodox Christians have celebrated Holy Week in the shadow of war, but much has changed for Kiev residents since last Easter. In the weeks prior, Ukrainian forces drove Moscow's troops from the area around the capital, and the scale of the atrocities that emerged after the Russian withdrawal was still becoming apparent. Ennahda leader, Ghannouchi, detained by Tunisian police, party says. Tunisian police on Monday detained Ennahda party leader Racht Ghannouchi, his party said, in an action that marks an escalation in an arrest campaign that has already targeted several high-profile opponents of President Kais Saied. Sudan's power struggle is an existential contest between two generals, two armies. The growing tension between Sudan's two most powerful generals, each backed by a formidable force, has spilled over into open conflict just 18 months after they conspired to disrupt the country's transition to democracy, with civilians caught in the crossfire of a deadly power struggle. French court acquits Air France and Airbus over 2009 Rio-Paris crash. A French court on Monday acquitted Airbus and Air France of manslaughter charges for the crash of Flight 447 from Rio to Paris in 2009. Kremlin critic Vladimir Kara-Murza is sentenced to 25 years in prison for treason. Outspoken Kremlin critic Vladimir Kara-Murza was sentenced to a quarter-century in prison by a Moscow court on Monday, the harshest sentence since Russia invaded Ukraine, after being found guilty of treason and other crimes he denied. Firefighters battle wildfire in southern France in first major forest fire of 2023. Hundreds of firefighters battle continuously to control the first major forest fire of the year in France, which has destroyed stretches of forest and brush along the country's southern border with Spain. Myanmar junta pardons 3,000 prisoners to mark Buddhist New Year. Myanmar's junta said Monday it would release more than 3,000 prisoners to mark the Buddhist New Year, without specifying whether those imprisoned in its bloody crackdown on dissent would be released. Opponents of Senegal's Macky Sall's third term form coalition. More than 100 political and civil society groups in Senegal formed a coalition on Sunday to oppose a third term for President Macky Sall. Macron to address France after Pyrrhic pension reform victory. President Emmanuel Macron will address France on Monday for the first time since he sanctioned his controversial pension reform, facing warnings that the political and social crisis caused by the changes is not over yet. Sergei Lavrov arrived in Brazil and the Ukraine war is expected to enter the agenda. The Russian Chancellor is meeting with the Brazilian Chancellor, Mauro Vieira. In addition, there will be a meeting with President Lula. Sergei Lavrov cited areas that need to be developed in the interest of the Russian Federation and Brazil. These are energy, peaceful use of outer space, agriculture, health, and pharmaceuticals. He also commented on the various fertilizer agreements that have been made in recent years and stressed that they need to be renewed. Southcom Commander General Laura Richardson is in Argentina to meet with leaders to discuss security cooperation. Argentina is a reliable regional security partner. This is Richardson's second official visit to Argentina.
As we are the first law enforcement partners in the world,
U.S. makes its first arrests for operating an illegal Chinese police station on its territory. An FBI official added, anyone working on behalf of a hostile foreign nation to violate our national security and freedom within our borders will be held accountable.
Earlier this morning at their homes in New York City. As alleged, the defendants worked together to establish an overseas police station in Manhattan's Chinatown on behalf of the Fuzhou branch of the Chinese government's National Police Force, the NPS. These defendants did China's bidding in secret, while acting under the direction and control of an NPS official in China.